thing I told the other teacher. Don't forget to record. If you don't record, you're fired. No, I'm just kidding. I never said that. Okay, so priest is cura and judge is juez. Okay, judge. It's an interesting word. Y también el verbo juzgar. Judge. ¿Cómo diría? No me juzgue.
Don't touch me.
Yeah,
Don't judge
excellent.
me.
Don't judge. Judge. Yeah, remember the pronunciation here? Aquí tenemos esa U de arriba, up, up. So you don't say judge, no, you say judge. Judge. Don't judge me. How do you say él juzga a todos?
He judge everybody.
Okay, excellent. Okay, excellent. Okay, perfect. Pero faltó una pronunciacióncita de aquí. He judges. He judges. He judges. So remember that when you have verbs that finish with, son 5 sonidos, 5 sounds. Okay, sonido de la S. For example, kiss. Okay, this sound, the S sound, okay, in the third person, you have to remember to pronounce an extra syllable. He kisses, she kisses. Okay, it's the S, the Z, for example, buzz. Okay, my alarm buzzes, buzzes. My alarm buzzes. So it's the S, the Z, the ch, ch. For example, watch. Okay, in third person or plural, because puede ser relojes también. Watches, watches. So you have to remember that when you're speaking. It's the CH, the SH, for example, splash. What is the third person of splash? How do you pronounce this, people?
Splashes.
Excellent. Splashes. Okay, can you use it in a sentence? Yeah. Not that complicated. I mean, I can use it in a sentence. I can give you a sentence and you can use it in a sentence. How would you say? En SeaWorld, las ballenas, esa palabrita, a la gente. I'll help you. En
En
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld,
Ajá.
the whales,
Excellent. Well, the whale. Yo dije, digamos ballena para usar tercera persona. The whale.
the whale splashes the people.
And splashes the people. I don't like this. I hate it. It's terrible. So in SeaWorld, the whale splashes the people. Okay. All right, let's continue. So with SH, okay, what is it? And the last one is with that sound. For example, juzgar, judge. In third person, you say judges. Or jueces, en plural, jueces. One judge, two judges. Judges. I like the way that sounds. Okay. All right, guys. So this is how you use, okay? This is the simple present. Okay, so remember that. You know how to do that. Okay, it's now you just communicate. Okay, everybody in this class, I imagine you have vocabulary, and that's it. No deben tener pena. Absolutamente nadie en este saloncito de participar, preguntar y hacer. Y si tienen pena, muchachos, pues supérela. Overcome it. Because you need to speak to practice. All right, so this is the simple present. Okay, let's review a little fast now. The simple past. Okay. Now, the difference is obvious, okay, in the present. You talk about the present, particular routines, Okay, your life. In the past, you talk about the past. You talk about actions that started and finished. Okay, so it's very important, this idea, because the past, okay, starts and finishes. That's the past. Okay, now in the past, you also have the verb be, separation between the verb be and other verbs. Okay, you use was and were, right? Remember, was is singular, were is plural. Okay, and you use other verbs. Now, obviously, you use the verb in the past. For example, did, went, had. Okay, and what is the past of eat?
Eight.
Very good. Okay, now it's obvious that for the past, the important thing is to remember the past, to remember the action in the past. Okay, but my recommendation, people, speak. Speak. That's my recommendation. If you remember the action in the past, excellent. Hallelujah. Fantastic. If you don't remember the action in the past, it's not a big problem. I will correct you. Okay, maybe if there is an opportunity, I will correct you. Okay, but if you're speaking, if I say, um, Anita, how was your weekend? Oh, teacher, my weekend was excellent. I go to the movies with my family and we see the movie Black Hawk Down. Teacher, oh, this movie is fantastic. Teacher, I recommend it. Excellent. Okay, that's communication. It's important. Obviously, okay, obviously it's better to use the action in the past, okay, pero ahí es donde está la práctica y sus intenciones, sus ganas. Ok, si yo quiero trabajar en una compañía desde mi casita, que me paguen buen inglés, buena plata, necesito un buen inglés. Entonces ahí es donde es importante recordarse las reglas. Okay, because if you are talking to the teacher in the class in 3 bucks English and you don't say use the action in the past, it's not a big problem, people. I love you. I'm not gonna get angry. No, I need you to speak. That's the most important thing. I need you to communicate. You need to speak. You need to communicate. Okay. That's the reason that every little opportunity, that you have to practice, practice. Si pido un ejemplo, si digo una pregunta en el aire, ok, no le den pena, muchachos, y pum, pum, pum. Ok, algunos ya, excellent, ok, pero eso están ustedes. Lo más importante, the most important thing is to practice, all right, because if I don't practice, I'm going to continue using the present when I want to speak in the past. So what did you do this weekend? Oh, teacher, this weekend, I'm happy because this weekend I start my new job. Oh, excellent. Pero ahí está malo porque this weekend I started my new job. Oh, another very important aspect of the past is remembering the pronunciation of regular verbs. This is another little thing to remember. For example, this verb here. Okay, what is the past? How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce this?
Finished. Finished.
Finished. Perfect, Mr. Blanco. Finished. Finished. And how do you pronounce this?
Started.
Excellent, Mr. Richard. Started. Oh, Mr. Richard, how are you, my friend?
Eh, Hello, teacher. I'm doing well, teacher. Thank you for
Excellent, excellent,
asking.
fantastic. Okay, very good, my friend. Happy to have you back. All right, so yeah, excellent pronunciation. Started, started, started. All right, so that's basically the simple past. It's not that difficult. It's simple. Just have to remember the action in the past. When you use the verb be, okay, remember was or were. Okay, and the action in the past. All right, that's pretty much it. Now for negative questions, again, remember did is an action. Hice mi tarea, I did my homework. Hice ejercicio, I did exercise. Okay, but it's also the auxiliary for negative sentences. And questions. Okay, now again, I can use the auxiliary in a positive sentence. Okay, with the same idea of the present. So if I say, for example, Pepita, why didn't you do the homework? And Pepita says, teacher, I did do my homework. Ahí está diciendo yo sí hice. I did do my homework. Okay, so this, excuse me, guys, the auxiliary in a positive sentence functions like, para decir sí, enfatizar. I did do my homework. All right. But in general, you use the auxiliary mostly for negative sentences and questions. Okay, remember when you use the auxiliary, you have to modify the verb because sometimes students forget. ¿Fuiste a la fiesta? No, yo sí fui a la fiesta. Sí, yo no te vi. No, yo sí fui a la fiesta. I did go to the party. Because a student might say something like this, I did went. No, teacher, I did went to the party. No, if you use the auxiliary, the action is in the base form. I did go to the party. Okay, and in general, this is the simple past. Excuse me. In the last classes, in the previous classes that we have been practicing with comparisons and superlatives and quantities and quantifiers, we were using mostly the simple present. Okay, we were using mostly the simple present. Because it's very important in general to learn vocabulary and expressions and communication. Didn't focus too much on the simple past because the simple past is exactly like the simple present. The only difference is that it's the past. That's it. When you use the verb be, you use was, were. Okay. When you use another action, you use the action in the past. In the past, there is no third person, so you don't need that. Okay, you just need to remember the action in the past. Subject, verb, complement. Okay, that's it. The auxiliary negative sentences didn't. Because sometimes you forget, did you go to the movies this weekend? No, teacher, I don't go to the movies this weekend. I didn't. So the auxiliary is very important. Okay. Because, like I said, if you want to speak correctly, then you need to learn to use these auxiliaries. Okay. Hay unas preguntitas que se llaman tag questions en inglés. Ya hemos visto un poquito de esto, pero voy a mostrarles rápido otra vez. So, tag questions son interesantes. They're interesting, tag questions. Tag questions are little questions, okay, that you put at the end of a sentence. Okay, so you say a sentence and then you put a little tag question. Okay, and a tag question is basically in Spanish to say cierto. Like in Spanish, you say cierto. Usted fue al gimnasio, cierto. Okay, that's it. All right. But if you do it correctly in English, it sounds good. Okay, for example, now yo puedo decir cierto usando esta palabra, right. Okay, so I can say, for example, entendiste la clase. Entonces, you understood the class. Ok, cierto, puedes decir simplemente right. You understood the class, right? And it's not a problem if I say this. This is actually correct. You understood the class, right? Entendiste la clase, ¿cierto? Pero si uso un tag question, es mucho más bonito. Okay? Does anybody know the tag question for this? Any idea?
Don't you?
Repeat.
Don't you? Don't you?
Casi. Casi, ahí es donde está el truquito, ¿ok? No es don't you porque es pasado. Don't es present.
Did you?
Didn't you?
Didn't you?
Huh? That's the tag question. Yes. So, la clave en el tag question es el tiempo. Tiempo que uso y el auxiliar del tiempo. Entonces, entendiste la clase, ¿cierto? Entendiste es pasado. You understood. You understood the class. Entonces, ese es cierto, va a ser con el auxiliar didn't. ¿Ok? Y una cosa del tag question, que si la oración está en positivo, if the main sentence is positive, the tag question is negative. ¿Ok? If the tag question is negative, I'm sorry, if the sentence is negative, you didn't understand the class. Did you? Then the tag question is positive. But I need to use the auxiliary because it's a question. It's a tag question. You understand? So you didn't understand the class, did you? Okay, or, okay, and here obviously I need to change this. You didn't understand the class, did you? But they're very common in positive. You understood the class. And then here, didn't. Okay, if I change subjects, then I say he understood the class. Didn't he? Obviously, it's the other person. Okay, if I'm talking about they, then I say they understood the class. Didn't they? Okay, so these are tag questions. Now, if it's in the present, they understand the class, then I use don't they. They speak English, don't they? Your brother works at a hotel, doesn't he? You understand? Those are tag questions. Your brother works at a hotel, doesn't he? Okay, so like I said, obviously you can say, right. You can say, hey, your brother works at a hotel, right? No problem. Okay, but if you want to sound better, use the tag question. Your brother works at a hotel, doesn't he? And for the tag question, it's necessary, like I said, to remember. Okay, now remember, I'm using a different verb. So I need the auxiliary do or the auxiliary did if it's in the past. For example, tu hermano trabajaba. Your brother worked at a hotel, didn't he? Then obviously I need to change this. Didn't he? That's a tag question. Okay, but if I use the verb be, okay, if I say, for example, you're married. Okay, now what's the tag question there?
Don't you?
Excellent intention, excellent try, but remember,
Aren't you?
aren't you? Excellent, yes. Very good, aren't you? Okay, and listen to that pronunciation of the T and the U. Aren't you? Aren't you? Excuse me, you're married, aren't you? You're married, aren't you? Aren't you? And then here, I don't use the auxiliary do again because I use the verb be. Son cositas, tiene su truquito. You're married, aren't you? Um, he's your friend. What's the tag question there?
Is,
Excellent, yeah, but remember,
isn't he?
isn't he? Excellent. He's your friend, isn't he?
So,
Okay.
and the answer, uh, how have to answer that question?
Well, that's an excellent question. Okay, sometimes, no, usually you're not expecting an answer. Usually you're not
Oh,
expecting an answer, but if the person is gonna answer, then yeah, definitely you can answer with yes or no. This is a yes or no question. So for example, here, okay, somebody says to me, excuse me, you're married, aren't you? And I can say, oh, yes, I am. Or no, I'm not. You're mistaken. You understand? But sometimes the tag question is a little sarcastic. You understand? But you, in
Yes.
general, you can answer it like a regular yes or no question. Okay, for example, it's kind of late, isn't it? So you also have to remember the subject. So these little tag questions are interesting. They're interesting and they're taught in grammar classes, okay? So that students can learn the correct use of auxiliaries and when not to use the auxiliaries. Okay, what's the tag question there?
Wasn't she?
Excellent. Wasn't she? Wasn't she? She was there, wasn't she? Ella estaba ahí, ¿sí o pa' qué? ¿Sí o pa' qué? I like that. Or sisas in Spanish. Ella estaba ahí, sisas. No, sisas no. Okay, anyway, this is a tag question, okay? And they're interesting little questions in English. As a matter of fact, no mentiras, mejor no digo esto porque es un poquito malo. Que una vez una profesora en donde yo trabajaba se equivocó con esto, no, y todo el año la molestaron, yo no. ¿Por qué? Se equivocó con un tag question. She made a little mistake. Anyway, it's a, it sounds funny when you don't say it correctly. Do you understand? For the gringos, it sounds very, very funny. For example, if I say, oh, and in that moment, he wasn't a teacher, but he was a visitor from the United States. This guy named, his name was Wes. His name was Wesley. Wesley. But we call him Wes. The guy was an amazing guy, really, really amazing guy, really nice person, very personable. And then, he heard us talking about this, and then he started making not even fun of the teacher, but saying these like, "Hey, what you guys are going to class, shouldn't we?" O sea, it's chistoso. All right, let's continue. So these are tag questions. Now, obviously, here we're looking at the questions in the present, okay, and in the past. Okay, remember when you use the verb be, in the tag question, you use the verb be. Okay, in the present or in the past. When the verb is not be, then you need to use the correct auxiliary. Okay, he he likes he likes fish. What's the tag question there? Guys, what's the tag question here?
Doesn't he?
Yeah, excellent. He likes fish, doesn't he? Perfect. He likes fish, doesn't he? So here I use, it's present. I use the auxiliary in the present because I'm not using the verb be. That's it. What's the tag question here? Oh,
Do you?
excellent, but in the negative. Didn't. Didn't you? Okay, and again, listen to that connection. Didn't you? Es muy común hacer esa T con ese you. Así. Didn't you? Can't you? Can't you help me? For example. So anyway, this is the expression. ¿Lo viste, sí o pa' qué? ¿Lo viste, cierto? You saw it, didn't you? Okay, excellent. So these are tag questions, guys. If you like them, cool. Okay, practice. If you want me to send you some exercises to practice, oh, you know what? I will send you some. Well, okay, maybe because there's more involved. Okay. Well, this is the simple past, people. The simple past expresses actions that started and finished in the past. Okay, now obviously, started and finished. Okay, when I say in the past, it's because we use past expressions, obviously. For example, esta mañana, this morning. This morning, I had a big breakfast, for example. Yesterday. Yesterday. Son momentos que ya se acabaron. Yesterday ya se acabó. Esta mañana ya se acabó. Ayer ya se acabó. Hace 5 minutos ya se acabó. Hace un segundo ya se acabó. So this is when you use the simple past. Okay, for actions that started and finished. Remember expressions like last year, last week, last month, etc. All right? Any questions?
No,
No.
teacher.
No,
You
teacher.
understand? You understand, don't you? Yes, we do. Ahí ustedes contestan, yes, we do. But it was an example of a tag question. You understand, don't you? Okay, so that is the simple present and the simple past. Okay, remember you use the verbs in the present and in the past. All right, we have a couple of minutes left. Let's talk about the present perfect, right? Because this is interesting. Aquí ya están poniendo las cosas un poquito más complicado. Okay, so the present perfect. Remember, the past, the present in general expresses routines, what you like, what you don't like. The past expresses actions that started and finish. The present perfect expresses actions that began in the past and connect to your present. Do you understand? So these are actions that began in the past and connect to, let's say, the present. Okay? This is the present perfect. For this structure, we need have and has, but in this structure, have and has, okay, are auxiliaries. They can be actions too. They can be actions too, okay? But in this structure here, okay, have and has are auxiliaries. So you use have and has, okay? And another very important thing, is the verb, okay? Because in this case, now you're not going to use the simple past or the simple present. You're going to use what is called past participle. Okay, do you understand past participle, people? Do you understand past participle, people? Do you
Yes,
understand past
teacher.
participle? Yeah? Okay, excellent. So if you don't understand past participle, okay, let me show you very fast. So we have the verb be. Okay, this is the base form. Okay, base form. And then you have am, is, are, which is the present form. And then you have was and were, which is the past form. The past participle form is been, been, been. Okay? This is the past participle form. So if I'm going to use this structure here, I'm going to use the verb in this form, right? And this is what you call the present perfect. The present perfect is when I use the auxiliary have and the verb in past participle to express this, actions that began in the past and connect to the present. Okay, for example, the question that I asked here in the beginning. ¿Has tenido una oportunidad o un chance para practicar tu inglés? Okay, here you have the structure. As a matter of fact, here I'm using the auxiliary have, the present perfect, and I'm using the verb have in past participle. Okay, now the past participle of have is the same as the simple past. Sometimes the verb changes, like for example, be. Okay, but sometimes it's not that difficult. All right, for example, okay, we have the verb do. Okay, the simple past of do is did. Okay, the past participle is done. That's it. Okay, so this would be in Spanish, hecho. Right? We have go in the present and third person goes. In the past, you say went. The past participle. Does anybody know the past participle?
Gone.
Very good, Steffi. Excellent. Gone. So if I'm going to say, for example, yo he ido, voy a usar este. Right? And basically, muchachos, básicamente eso es lo que es el pretérito plus one perfecto. Suena horrible en español. Ok, pues basically para decir usando el auxiliar haber y en verbo en pasado participio. En español lo usamos mucho. Ok, en inglés lo usamos también. Entonces, en ese contexto, se va a decir he ido. Okay, obviously you begin with the subject, always subject verb complement, and you say I have gone. That's it. He ido dos veces. I have gone twice or two times. That's it. All right, this is the present perfect. You use the auxiliary have, okay, and the verb in past. Ahora, se me olvidó el pasado participio. No, teacher, I don't like this place. I have go twice and it's terrible. Beautiful, muchachos, hablen. Pero si se recuerdan el pasado participio, mejor. Obtienen el trabajito. Ok, así puede charlar con quien quiera. Así obtienen el trabajito. Ok. Con todo respeto, muchachos, no es para mofar, ¿no? So yes, this is the present perfect. This is the present perfect. You use have and then a verb in past participle. So have, okay, is the base form in the third person. Had is the past, and then the past participle of have is the same as the simple past. Okay, so he tenido, I have had. Okay, he tenido y después he tenido problemas. I have had, no problemas, no. He tenido soluciones. I have had solutions to my problems. I don't know. Okay, I have had one girlfriend in my life. Okay, he tenido. So that's it. That's it. All right. Eat is in the simple present. This is the third person. Ate is the simple past. Does anybody know the past participle?
Aiden.
Almost, my friend.
Eating.
Very good. I know you know it, okay, but the pronunciation, listen to me. Okay, aquí es donde tienen que poner en práctica toda la pronunciación que le he explicado. Eaten, eaten. This is the pronunciation. Like when you say Manhattan, when you say important, when you say eaten. Okay, so the gringo is not going to say, have you eaten anything? Maybe in England, but even in England, they would say, have you eaten anything? Have you eaten anything? No esperamos para los ingleses, no. All right. So yeah, the pronunciation is now maybe, you know, the student sometimes says eaten, eaten, como una R. Y es común que la T entre vocales suene como una R, pero ningún americano va a decir eaten, eaten a este verbo. Van a decir eaten, eaten. 99% of gringos are going to say eaten, eaten. So basically es la I y como sabemos hacer el sonido de la N. Repeat after me, people. Eaten.
Eating.
Excellent,
Eaten.
Steph. Excellent, very good.
Eaten.
Eaten, eaten. You got to practice a
Eaten.
little bit more. Dejar la boca abierta para que no suene como una M. Entonces, eaten, no. Eaten, eaten, eaten. That's it. Eaten. As a matter of fact, many past participles have that pronunciation. For example, get, whose past is got. The past participle is gotten, 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 gotten. Repeat after me, gotten.
Got.
Okay, excellent, Steffi.
Gotten.
Excellent, my friend. Entonces, si un americano va a decir, no me he levantado tan temprano en mucho tiempo, they're going to say, I haven't gotten up this early in a long time. I haven't gotten up this early in a long time. I haven't gotten up this early. Lo vi mermando. I haven't gotten up so early in a long time. Let's put the sentence. I haven't gotten up so early in a long time. Haven't gotten up so early in a long time. Okay, now if you say gotten, no hay problema. I haven't, no teacher, I haven't gotten up. No, no hay problema. It's understandable. If you say got, I haven't got. Many people say got. Muchos gente erróneamente, muchos americanos usan el pasado en vez del pasado participio en esta estructura. O sea, correctamente es el pasado participio. I haven't gotten up so early. But many people would say this. Many Americans, oh, I haven't got up so early. I would say this because I'm an English teacher. All right. But yes, that's the pronunciation of this. Or the same for example, forget. The past is forgot. The past participle is forgotten. Forgotten. So if I want, ¿cómo diría? No me he olvidado. No me he olvidado.
I haven't forgotten it.
Oh, perfect, Steffi. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. I haven't forgotten. And yeah, you finish with it. I haven't forgotten it. Very good. Okay, algunas veces solamente podemos terminar así. Profe, la tarea, no, yeah, don't worry, I haven't forgotten, don't worry. But I haven't forgotten it is perfect. It's perfect. All right. So yes, guys, this is the present perfect, or in Spanish, el pretérito pluscuamperfecto. So you use it to connect the past with the present. Okay, obviously, you don't use actions or I'm sorry, expressions in the past like yesterday, last week with this structure. The same in Spanish. In Spanish, you don't say, yo no he comido ayer. Ayer no comí. Ayer terminó. Yo no he comido hoy. Puede ser, hoy no ha terminado. Yo no he comido esta mañana. It's not correct. Esta mañana terminó. So the same in English. I cannot say, I haven't eaten yesterday. It's not correct. I didn't eat yesterday. I haven't eaten today. Okay? Because the idea of this is to connect the past with the present. All right? Now, what is the structure of the present perfect? Structure is very simple. Okay, you use it in positive and negative sentences. You say, I have plus PP. We're going to call this the past participle, obviously. Okay. And then the rest. Okay, obviously you need to learn many verbs in the past participle. And for third person, she has. Okay, so it's necessary to use the third person. She has, I have. Okay. So these are positive sentences. Let's make a sentence. I have taught English for 24. Oh my God, I'm old. Enseñado inglés. I have taught English for over 24 years. Okay. She has been my girlfriend since high school. Okay, so these are positive sentences. You use the third person. Any questions? Okay, for negative sentences, you use have not. Okay. Have not. Okay, now obviously Usually in communication, it's contracted. And you say haven't, haven't, haven't. Okay, now don't confuse haven't with no tengo. No tengo is I don't have, no, very different. I haven't is no he. No he viajado, no he visto. I haven't taught French. Okay. And if it's third person, the same. You say has not, or you contract. Okay, she has not, or she hasn't. She hasn't called yet. Okay. Any questions? Yes or no?
No,
Teacher.
teacher.
All right. So these are positive and negative sentences. Okay. Yes or no questions? Okay. For yes or no questions, you invert the auxiliary and the subject. Okay. So I say, have you? Have you seen the Titanic? Of this movie. Have you seen the Titanic? Okay. Another example, has she? For third person, you say, has she? Has she been there? Has she been there? Okay, these are yes or no questions. You invert the auxiliary and the subject. And for WH questions, you put WH. Okay, for example, muy común pregunta, ¿dónde has estado? How would you say, ¿dónde has estado?
Where have you been?
Excellent, my friend. Where have you been? That's it. Where have you been? A very common question in English. What have you been up to? ¿Qué has estado haciendo? ¿O qué has hecho? Spanish maybe, ¿qué has hecho? In English, it's very common to use this expression. What if, and the pronunciation is what if, what if. As a matter of fact, the pronunciation of the auxiliary have, it's similar to the pronunciation of the preposition of, of, of. So if an American is gonna ask you this question, you're probably gonna hear whereof, whereof, whereof. Where have you been? Where have you been? It sounds like you're saying where of. Where have you been? Okay, and the same thing here. What if? What have you been up to? Obviamente no vayan a escribir eso. That's the pronunciation. So, what have you been up to? Okay. Why has? You can ask a negative, the question in negative. ¿Por qué no ha llamado? Why hasn't she called? Why hasn't she called? And that's it, guys. Okay. This is how you use the auxiliary have. Obviously, we're going to continue practicing with this new structure. Okay. Tomorrow, we're going to continue practicing. We're going to ask and answer questions. All right. So why don't you, for today and tomorrow for homework, start thinking of questions, that you can ask in this little structure. Okay. Now, you can also use this structure in tag questions. Okay, obviously we use the auxiliary have. So I say, vos has estado ahí, ¿cierto? You've been there. Okay, what is the tag question?
Haven't you?
Excellent, my friend. An excellent pronunciation. Haven't you? That T and that U sometimes sounds ch, usually. You've been there, haven't you, teacher? No, as a matter of fact, I can't say I have. Oh, you should go. It's a beautiful place. So that's how you use these little tag questions. Okay, guys? Okay, we're gonna stop here. Thank you guys for coming back. I'm happy to see you. Okay, what do you think if we continue having the class from 7 to 8:30? Is that okay?
For me, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, because we were starting at 6:45 and then moving, but I think it's better if all the classes just start at 7, gives everybody time to come in from 7 to 8:30. Today we began a little late because I had a problem with the starting Zoom. But yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Okay, guys?
Excellent.
Okay, teacher.
Excellent.
Thank
Okay,
you very much.
teacher.
Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for coming back. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, teacher. See you
Bye-bye.
tomorrow.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Chris,
Yo, mi Fabián, mi Carlitos.
bien, bien, bien. Estuvo en la clase de la profe, muy buena, a la gente le gustó.
¿Sí?
Sí, muy
Ah, es
buena.
que ella es una
Bien,
nota, ella. ¿Y cuántos se conectaron?
dale stop a la grabación.
Ah, sí, verdad. Y se me olvidó grabar desde el principio. ¿Dónde es que es? Pum.